time on the call. I'd love to see if we've got any newcomers here. If this is maybe your first or second time on one of these calls, go ahead and throw it in the chat and just put first time or second time. If you've been on here umpteen million times, just kidding. If you've been here from the beginning and have been with us, go ahead and throw it in the chat as well. How many times you've been on, if you can count that many. I know many of you have been on over and over and over again, have been part of this community for a long time now. But it's just so glad to be here with you guys. Awesome. Well, as always, let's do a quick kind of check and see where everyone's chiming in from. I know we got people calling in from all over the world. We've got Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We've got Brisbane in the house. We've got Seattle, Orlando, Florida, Decula, Georgia. Let's see who else we have here. Of course, we've got Utah in the house, West Palm Beach, Florida. We've got Grovetown, Georgia. Who else? Yeah, I've got a lot of people said lost track of how many times we've been on this call. A million times. Let's see, what else we got here? Rocky Mount, North Carolina. We've got McCalla, Alabama, South Carolina, St. Petersburg, Florida, which is my old hometown there. We've got Buxton, Australia, some more Australia, Gold Coast, Australia, New Jersey. A huge welcome to everybody. Thanks again for jumping in and being here. As always, you can see on the screen right now, we've got our standard disclaimers. You're welcome to go ahead and take a screenshot of those, read through those. Very important, of course, for always and for everybody that we keep this community safe, that we're not saying things that are inappropriate or making promises that we shouldn't or guaranteeing things that we shouldn't. But that we want to make sure we keep everyone safe. And of course, the biggest thing here is making sure that these are kind of the more salient points here. Denise, would you mind reading through those points for me? I can't look at them right now. That'd be great.
Sure. Okay, disclaimer summary is this may contain forward-looking statements. There are no earning claims or financial advice. The digital rewards are for utility. DYOR, do your own research. The information provided is for educational purposes. And last but not least, nodes and blockchains are governed by the DGF, which is the Distributed Governance Framework. And Miller, I'm surprised you don't have those memorized yet.
I should. I probably do, but I just didn't want to miss it just in case. It is that important. Anyway, so thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate that. All right, friends. Well, today, this is blockchain talk, right? We're going to be talking about some different things. We've got John and Jake, I believe, on as well. I don't know if you guys have got kind of something in mind or on the agenda for today, if we want to kind of just start with some Q&A, but why don't I turn the time over to you guys? Let me know kind of where we're going to start here.
Sounds good. I just figured we'd wing it. That's the best way to go, and then it's kind of raw and it's just not, I think that's the best thing. I think what I'm seeing from the community is, a few weeks ago we switched over to like now all digital rewards with the smart flow, and there's a lot of questions coming up from the community about, well, how do I sell my rewards? Or on the other side of that coin, no pun intended, how do I buy more rewards if I want them? And it is possible if you're not familiar with blockchain. It's not like the easiest thing in the world, but it's definitely doable. I've taught people how to do it here and there who've reached out to me, but I think today, and we can do some Q&A after. I think today what Jake and I discussed is maybe going through how to set up a MetaMask wallet, and then how to be able to maybe purchase some rewards out of the market if you wanted to, or on the other side of that, maybe you need to pay your phone bill, or maybe you need to pay your internet bill. So we'll teach you how to like sell those or swap those to a liquid token that you could cash out on Coinbase or Switch reward card or whatever platform that you use to where your bank's connected. Definitely doable, super easy. I think we're just gonna keep trying to teach that stuff because I think a lot of people maybe don't realize that, our rewards are liquid to a certain extent. Like if I had $1 million worth of one of our tokens right now, like obviously this early in the market, like I could not sell $1 million worth of the token, at least not right now. But being involved in early blockchain development and how the market evolves, they become liquid as our community grows and our products and service get released out to the world. But just because you can't sell $1 million worth of a token, if you had $1 million worth of a token, doesn't mean you can't sell $1,000 or $100 or buy that much. That's definitely possible right now. And that actually wasn't really too possible back a few weeks ago before, we had the vote and introduced the smart flow, because the smart flow has really added a lot of buy pressure to our markets to make it easy for us to be able to buy tokens or liquidate tokens. Easier. And it's going to become more easier like as we push and grow the community and more people become interested in the valuable products and services that really solve problems. So
Hey, real
Jake,
quick, while we're talking about this,
yeah,
I just want to, I've heard a lot of different things from the community, and along the same lines of what you just said, one of the things that people kept saying is, I don't want to, now that we're getting win as kind of the reward for selling those different things, I just want to hold everything, so that I think there's been this concern that, hey, I've got my nodes that are operating and I want to hold, but also now I'm getting win for this. I don't know what to sell or what to hold or when to sell or whatever. And I just, for me, in my brain, I had this conversation with one of our community members just recently, and I want you to, if you can, separate those two in your mind, right? So at least for me anyway, what I do is my nodes produce one thing, and those are rewards that for me I like to hold. Right. And again, anybody can take the rewards from however they get them, and they can hold them or sell them or do whatever they want to. I like to hold the rewards that I'm mining, because in my mind, that's what I have the node for. I'm going to mine those rewards and I'm going to hodl for a while. And then maybe if the market does whatever I think it might do in the future, then maybe I'll sell, but whatever. Right. But that's kind of my one bucket. The other bucket now, and for me, I'm trying to like put these into two different buckets in my brain, are the rewards or the win rewards that I'm getting for sharing this with other people, for selling nodes, for helping to spread adoption. Those rewards are rewards that I feel like I should tap into if I need to immediately, right? I can sell them to, like you said, pay my power bill or pay my phone bill or pay my mortgage or whatever it looks like, right? I can use those rewards. Um, and whereas before I was getting them in USDT and not feeling any pressure to sell or hold or whatever, I was just kind of, it was just what it was. Now that I'm getting them in Win, it's the same rewards, just it's just in Win now, right? And so I can sell those just like I was selling USDT before. Anyway, so and you kind of already said that. I just wanted to, because I had some conversations just recently where people were, I feel like, confused, and they were thinking that they were all the same. And although they are the same reward, it's kind of two different buckets in my mind. Anyway.
yeah, I agree with you. I'm the same way. I even take it a step further. Like, I think it's way too early to sell rewards. But, I'll give you a perfect example of what happened recently for me, and I needed to sell a little bit. In fact, I know there's people that want I hate selling my rewards this early because I've been through it before. It's like buying two pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. It's like, do I want to be that guy? But stuff comes up in life, and I'll give you a perfect example. So, my wife and I, we put an offer on an investment property. She did this all like kind of while I was busy and didn't know. And I had to like come out of pocket like thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm like, dang, what am I gonna do? So I went to all my wallets and I scrounged up a little bit, and reluctantly, I was a couple $1,000s short. I reached out to the community to see if there was anybody who wanted to buy, because I don't want to directly sell to the market. I want to try to help the markets if I can. I bought thousands of like rally and grow out of the market and provided liquidity. So like I think it was two days ago or 3 days ago, I had to sell like $1,000 worth of a token just to be able to um, go ahead and get that money wired over to for the offer on the investment property. But things come up. Sometimes our mortgage comes up. Stephen, you had a lot of good points. Um, it's something that we each have to answer for our own. Like, how much of my reward do I want to buy or sell? Do I want to hold my node rewards and maybe just take a percentage of what I'm earning from being a block bot or sharing? And and that way everything, I don't really give investment advice, but I will give advice to one thing. Everything is balance. Everything in life is about balance. That's the best piece of advice I think I can give anybody. You never want to sell everything, so balance it out. And the answer to that question, only each and every one of us can answer on our own. You know, like I don't know, how many rewards you're making. Like, do a percentage. Like, take take maybe a certain amount a week and sell a little bit or buy a little bit, whatever your strategy is. But the point of this call really is to give you the tools, to be able to set that up so you can either buy or sell, because it's very possible. It's not the easiest thing, but once you get the hang of it, it is pretty easy. Definitely going to warn you of some like pitfalls and some things to avoid and things to watch out for, because when you're inside, Connect and using your wallet, it's pretty safe because it's not out there on the web. It's your wallet's behind a login password and also protected with an encrypted passcode. When you're dealing with MetaMask now, your wallet's either sitting in a browser if you're on a PC, or it's just on an app. And what can happen is, um, there's a lot of malicious websites out there that will try to trick you into thinking that you can make a bunch of money or you have this airdrop, and inadvertently, unknowingly, you could potentially connect to one of these wallets and just click one button. And what you've done is you've granted this malicious website unlimited spending permissions of all your crypto. And I've seen it happen time and time again. People's wallets get drained. Your keys are as safe as you allow them to be. So having a MetaMask wallet is really safe. You just need to know what to avoid. Never click anything outside. Always use the MetaMask interface and interact with the swap feature, at least for now, until you're comfortable enough to maybe do something else. But to be honest, with what we're doing, there's no need to do anything else. You could be on Facebook or social media and see somebody talking about this, that, and the other thing, head over and connect your wallet, and next thing you know, everything's gone. So be super aware and careful of that. And if you see something, like reach out to like Jake or one of us and show us, like, and we'll tell you usually right away if it's legit or not. Um, so with that being said, Jake, did you have that test wallet set up?
Yep. Yeah, I have a demo wallet set up.
Okay, cool. I think I want to start off by just and guys, if you're here, maybe grab a pen and take some notes. Start off at the beginning. Obviously, you have a wallet set up. How do you get the wallet set up? Which website to go to? And then obviously there's the keys you need to write down, don't screenshot, yada yada, the whole nine. So I'll let you take over from here, Jake. Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, anytime. So what I'm using tonight is one of the most popular third-party decentralized wallet applications that John had mentioned, which was MetaMask. And if you don't have one set up already, you can just go to metamask.io. They have amazing amounts of FAQs, how to set it up. Like John mentioned, you take your 12-word seed, you need to store that. We've already taught all of that education. Like that is, bare minimum, we need to take personal responsibility in doing these things. And then you can also, they have a phone application, and as well as a Chrome extension, Firefox, Edge, Brave. Pretty much all of the extensions act the same in all of the different browsers now. And that's how I interact with it mostly, just because it's exactly the same UI as the phone. But you can go directly on MetaMask's website and get kind of a bigger desktop version of it. But you do have to connect to it right here, which is this Connect wallet. And what John mentioned was make sure that you are on a legitimate website if you ever use this function. And it's just kind of another reason why I just deal inside of the extension itself. So if you haven't set up a MetaMask wallet already, get one set up, and then it will look like this. So whenever you first land in here, you will only see an Ethereum spot here inside of the wallet. And obviously your balance will be 0. And you will need to fund this because everything is Ethereum based within this wallet. It's an Ethereum based wallet. You can do some other networks. You can import our networks in here as well. I don't want to confuse you all too much with that. So we're just going to stick with just the Ethereum side right now and ERC20 tokens. So once you fund this, it doesn't matter what you do swap, because you can swap Tether, you can swap USDC, you can swap our tokens for other tokens, whatever you want to do, but you still always have to have Ethereum in here to cover the gas fees whenever you interact with Uniswap. So
Hey, real quick, sorry to cut you off. I'm
yep.
just trying to think from like a total new person's perspective here, and like how do you fund it? Like how do you get your wallet address? And like so say I have a Coinbase account, right? And my bank's hooked up, and maybe I have a little Ethereum over there, or maybe I have Ethereum and Connect. Like I've never even sent a transaction before. How do I do that? And how do I make sure I do that safely?
Yep. Okay, that's a really good one. So at the top here, Ethereum-based wallets always end with that. They have this hexadecimal. It's a 0x, and it's here right at the top underneath the account that you have. So you would just copy this onto your clipboard, and then go over to wherever it is, like whether it's Coinbase, maybe you have some on Switch Reward Card, wherever you have some Ethereum that you've purchased or you've earned it or whatever you've done. You go into that platform and you go to the send address inside of that platform, paste that, and then whatever amount you want to send over to this wallet, you'll send it, and it'll be received here very shortly after that. You can buy some crypto inside of MetaMask. It's pretty costly, so I would recommend using something like Switch Reward Card, which is what many of us are using now, and then send it to this wallet to fund it.
And one thing I do too, just because guys, like if you make a
Uh,
mistake out there, Jake, all right, Jake knows what I'm getting at, so go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, no, that's what you need to verify. Anytime you ever copy something on your clipboard, and you're pasting it in to where you're sending, make sure that you double check. Look at like the last 4 or 5 and like the first 4 or 5, just to make sure that this is your address. Because think about this: what if I had just copied another address from some, maybe I was dealing with something else somewhere and I thought that was on my clipboard and I hit paste. Now all of a sudden I'm sending this to a wallet that may not be mine. I mean, and I will never get that crypto back. There's no, that's kind of the self-sovereignty or the dual-edged sword of it. More, what's the Spider-Man quote? The more power is more responsibility. That you have to double check these things because there's no clawbacks. There's no, hey, bank, I accidentally sent some funds to this account. Can you reimburse me or claw it back? It's your ultimate responsibility to make sure that the wallet that you're sending to is your wallet. And so double, triple check it, whatever you need to do to ensure that it's going to the place that you're intending it to. All right, so at this point, you have some Ethereum in your wallet. Now, what do you do with it? Well, first you'll want to import the token that you're wanting to swap to. So first we're talking about purchasing. And I want to purchase some Grow. Now, again, you won't have all of these other tokens because I've already done the process that I'm about to go through right now. But you can see I do not have Grow in here. So what we need to do is we have to import the token contract address to be able to get one of these slots inside of here so that whenever I do the swap, I'll be able to see these things. So first, we always go to the source of truth. You want to go to the Grow support site, so growblockchain.net, and I'll share this link tree with y'all that have them all directly linked just in one quick clean place. But you can see I am on the growblockchain.net website, and this is the support FAQ site. You can search for this as well if you just go to the website, go to support, and you can look for the ERC20 contract address. And that's this right here. It's another 0x because it's ERC20. And we will get that on the clipboard and then go back over to our MetaMask wallet. And here you'll see an import button, and that's what we'll be utilizing. So we'll click that. And we're not going to search for this because we're importing a custom contract address. So you'll see this tab in the top right that says custom token. And we will tab over to that side. And you have a field here to paste that token contract address that's on the clipboard. So again, you can verify these, make sure that that is it. And then you get kind of double confirmation because this symbol populated as grow. So I know that this is it. And I will click next. And then just a kind of a sidebar lesson here. I obviously already have some grow in this wallet. Now, you didn't see it earlier. That means I've already sent it here and I haven't imported this, this contract address. So a lot of people do that whenever they're first interacting with MetaMask. I know I've done it and I've had a freak out where you send some tokens there and you think that they just disappeared. They vanished. Oh my gosh, I just lost all that. I can't believe I did that. Don't worry. You can, you just have to import this contract address so that you can actually view those tokens. You can view them in other places like blockchain explorers and everything else, but it's just not showing in the UI of MetaMask until you do this. So now that I know that this is in here, this is what I would like to import. I'll click import. Okay, and then it says that I've successfully imported grow. And then you'll see it. I have my spot down here now with, and then you can actually see my grow tokens that I have in here. If this is your first time importing it, you've never sent any, it'll show your balance as 0. Now let's go ahead and buy some. I'm going to buy some with Ethereum. I don't have any Tether in here or anything, but I could buy some with Tether if I wanted to, as long as I had enough Ethereum to cover the gas fees of that. So it would be the exact same process as what I'm about to show you, but you just click on the currency that you're wanting to swap from. And whenever you're inside of here, you'll see a button called swap. So we'll click on that. And you'll be brought to this page that's showing the currency that you're wanting to swap from, and then this down arrow from what you're wanting to swap to. And so you hit the drop down on select token, and I'm going to type in grow, and you'll see this is the grow that I want to swap to. And you'll click that. And because I'm doing Ethereum, you kind of have to play around with like the USD equivalent if you're wanting to get an actual like a round number of USD. If it's USDT, you would obviously just type in, like if it's $100, you do just 100. But I'm going to play around with the Ethereum numbers, see what it calculates out to. So 0.05 is 171. I'm wanting to do it 100. So there's 85. Okay. So 0.03 ETH is $102.87. So I'm going to be purchasing $102.87 minus gas fees of grow. Now, what this is telling me is that I manually added this token. So to verify the token contract is what I'm wanting. So I have already verified that this is the correct token that I'm wanting. So I will click continue swapping, and it will start fetching me some quotes. All right. So it's going to be a $6.27 gas fee for me to transact through this. It fluctuates depending on Ethereum's network congestion. So I've seen this as high as like 20, 30 bucks. I know I've seen it a lot higher than that, but just on average, I've seen it in the 20s past few weeks. But they've come down significantly since. They've been in like anywhere between $2 and like $5. So this is pretty average. I'm good with that. And I'm going to end up with 515 grow. And so I'm good with this. I'm going to hit swap, and it's going to start processing my transaction. John, you could have like hummed the Jeopardy song or something.
Do 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 do. Oh,
There we go. Swap complete. My grow is now available. So whenever I close this window, you'll see that my Ethereum balance has dropped. And then whenever I scroll down to grow, you'll see that my balance has gone up by that 100,000 tokens that I've purchased. So that's it. Now you can send this grow out to your grow wallet or your connect wallet, whatever you want to do. You can hold it inside a MetaMask. I do both. Um, I've actually done this same process, and I've gone to the Nourish Mart and purchased beef and tallow and quite a few other things. I purchased a little bit of everything on the Nourish Mart with Grow, and kind of like Steven was talking about earlier, like my nodes are that's my Grow. Like I'm hodling that. I'm not going to spend that other than I did it once just so I could have that story of like, this is what my node, I've earned this and I've utilized this. But for all the other part, I don't want to be like John mentioned, the Bitcoin pizza guy. So I take my fiat dollars and I purchase the token to be able to utilize it for the products and services I want currently. So that's just a strategy I do. Again, like was mentioned, it's my personal strategy. It's what I resonate with. Whatever you want to do, that's just an option that you can do.
let's let's show a couple different examples. Like, so obviously, like if they wanted to sell, it's the same thing, but like flipping what you want to sell on top and what you want to buy on the bottom. But what if I wanted to swap, and you don't have to do it all, obviously it's your money here, but like what if I wanted to like buy some grow with win or win with grow or switch with grow? Like I know there's pools that allow that right now. Let's just show them how to do that.
Yep. So I actually have some win in this wallet. Let's just buy some more grow. So yeah, it's exactly the same thing. You always just click on the currency that you're wanting to swap from. So we're wanting to swap from win, and we'll click the swap button. And then below, you select the token that you're wanting to swap to. So like if I was wanting to sell this for USDT, I would put USDT in here. But we're talking about swapping from win to grow. I'll type grow back in here. And again, token was added manually, so I'm good. Continue swapping. And I will play around with some numbers here. Let's do like 50,000 win. And then it's going to go ahead and start fetching me some quotes here. All right, so I can swap 50,000 win for 20,000 grow, and with a $6.84 Ethereum gas fee. So, all right, it just quoted. It went up a little bit to $7, but I'm still good with this. So I'm going to hit swap on that. And wait for that to complete.
Do 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 do. So cool. Like, yeah, so I think it's important that people like understand because I think maybe people are like maybe not thinking that like they're maybe thinking like, oh, the tokens will have like a future value. Like they have a value now. You know, it might not be like a lot, but there's a value nonetheless that is exchangeable. And like I used in the example earlier, like not on a massive scale yet. You start off like we're starting off humbly into the markets, you know, and like the market right now is basically community driven. Like I provide thousands of dollars of liquidity on both sides of a lot of these pairs. And then with, you know, the sales revenue being pointed at the markets through the smart flow, that's what's kind of really helping it out. But just know, like, this isn't always going to be the case, guys. Like, it'll be super easy to liquidate like much larger amounts. Just it's a little bit further down the road, you know. Um, so I think it's great, like to know that you can do this. You know, you can buy, you can sell. There is a bit of a learning curve. There is some potential pitfalls that you can fall into, and I just really want to recap like this. So MetaMask.io is the official site. When you're storing your seed phrase, like do not take a picture. Like make sure you write it down and don't leave it on your desk. You know, just like how you did your Connect wallet, like write it down and like put it somewhere safe, preferably like in a fireproof safe, like in your house, and that way you always have access to it. Third thing, you're playing ball outside of the Connect website, which has a lot of protections in place. So we are responsible. You know, with self-custody comes great responsibility. Be wary of malicious websites. Be wary of some people, even you might get an email from MetaMask. Guess what? You've never given your email to MetaMask. You get an email from MetaMask saying that, oh, you need to verify your account. And you say, oh my God, I need to, you know, verify my account. Let me click this link in this phishing email, and I go into the link and now I need to input my seed words. That was never MetaMask to begin with because you never gave them a email. MetaMask doesn't take your email address. It's, you know what I mean? So like we really need to be wary of these things. Like I've just seen it time and time again, and just be very careful. Do not interact with websites. Always try to interact through the browser extension itself. Only interact with the swap feature until you become a lot more confident, because it's unfortunate, but it does happen. All the time. You know, people fall victim to these things. So my hope is that we can continue to do these here and educate people on how to do things and how to do things safely. And just be very wary and conscious. And like I said, if you don't know anything, you have a question, just reach out to one of us or reach out to support. They'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Hey, we
Yeah,
have a
John
few
and oh,
questions in the
Denise,
chat
were you
too,
about to?
guys. Sorry. I just want to make sure you guys see the questions in the chats because there's some really good questions in there.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you.
All right. What do we got?
We've got
Yep,
one
you have to
about
a bridge
providing
win.
liquidity.
All right, so that's getting a little complex. So providing liquidity, you actually have to venture outside of the browser extension and go to um, the Uniswap website, which it's doable. I mean, I don't know if we should like overcomplicate that right now because it's
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think that'll
it's
be
too
That's
risky,
later.
guys.
it'll be like the
That's
next
later.
lesson. I did want to
Yeah.
actually show something just on the MetaMask wallet, uh, just to show y'all what something would look like. Because, like John said, like there's no reason to be scared of MetaMask. Like you'll hear some horror stories, but don't let like a lot of that came from just people not knowing how to operate it, how to deal with it, and protect themselves from it. Uh, and again, like this is not a malicious website. You know, I can verify that this is not a malicious website. But if this was, let's say I got on something like Uniswap and it had two eyes or something stupid in it, you know, where someone tried to make like some fake account. The thing that you don't want to see is this button right here what John was talking about, because you give access. When I hit this connect button and you see MetaMask that you can select, see how it pops my extension up. And then it's going to ask me permission, like, do you want to connect to this website? And this gives permission uh, for me to connect to this website. But if it's malicious, it gives them access to drain my wallet. So make sure that, you know, if you happen to have your extension up and you wander off and accidentally make a typo on a website or something, you see this pop up, like, you need to make sure that you are connecting to a legitimate website if you do start venturing into these things. We'll build upon this and we'll get into liquidity provision and doing some of these things, but like it's such a crucial thing. John, you might have hit on this topic too, but we actually don't even mess with them. Like, don't worry about them. If you ever receive a token that you do not recognize, or an NFT that you do not recognize, because that's another thing that people will airdrop into random wallets, just kind of phishing, because they'll put very attractive things. I know I've been around a guy before that he received a random NFT in his wallet, and he actually went and looked on OpenSea, and this NFT was, you know, it was like $5,000. So it was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go sell this thing. You know, I just got this for free. I don't know what it is. He thought maybe he signed up for some you know, promo or giveaway, or maybe he held a certain cryptocurrency that, you know, kind of had a utility behind it and he was airdropped this NFT. So no, like, don't do that. They probably listed that NFT on OpenSea, propped up a fake price to attract you to do that, because as soon as you interact with that token, you're giving these access away to that malicious person. So again, we can't stress enough, like, protect yourself. Make
Yeah.
sure, be very slow with every move that you make here, and just make sure you know what you're connecting to.
Yeah, you'll get used to it, and like as you learn and grow, you know, you'll get more confident with it and know what to look out for. But very, very important stuff. Just want to go through, you know, some of these questions here.
Yeah, we
You
have a
can't,
really good one. What's the difference between MetaMask and Switch?
yeah. So MetaMask, what MetaMask is, it is an EVM compatible wallet. So an Ethereum based wallet, and all EVM compatible chains wallet that has a direct plugin into it that interacts with decentralized swapping protocols like Uniswap. So you never have to go to Uniswap like on Jake's picture right now. That's actually built into the functionality of the wallet. So MetaMask is a private key, self-custody, non-custodial, browser-based wallet that can interact with decentralized protocols. Switch, on the other hand, is not a browser-based wallet. It's a web-based. If we're talking about, so inside of Switch, there's two wallets. There is a private key, non-custodial wallet, but the Switch trade platform, it is a custodial wallet, meaning the keys to that are held by a third party that provide the on and off ramp. So I'm not actually sure if on the back end, well, they must, well, no, they're not. I think they're interacting with decentralized exchanges just through their own rails. So they're providing really a fiat on and off ramp to connect in your bank, and be able to purchase like the top like 50 tokens, purchase, sell, trade, stuff like that. Where MetaMask, there is no bank connection to it. It's just purely you operating in the space, without any third parties. So with that comes a sense of like really important responsibility. Let's see, what else do we have here? SmartFlow. Yeah, I want to talk about SmartFlow. What is SmartFlow? So SmartFlow is all, if somebody comes into the Connect shopping cart, and any of the products or services, whether they're nodes or any of the NFTs that represent products or services, this revenue that comes in, whether it's wire, whether it's USDT, USDC, like now all of this money through a smart flow process that got voted on, and there will be transparency around this. We just had a vote in the Win through the WinNode network that voted this in, and the purpose of this is to create a flywheel that begins to support our own markets through this revenue. So what it does is revenue comes in, it goes into the market just like how we did on MetaMask here, and it uses that liquidity to buy tokens out of the market. And then through contracts, it'll send those tokens into the Win distributor, and that's what it'll pay out in. So I'll use an example. Let's say I refer somebody who buys a Rally node. They use USDT. That USDT comes into the system, goes to the market, buys the token. The tokens come back through the Win distributor and then pay me out according to the Win distribution algorithm, and also pay the rest of the community out, because this is really a big portion of it is community participation. Couple things this does, it creates two things. It creates buy pressure on the markets where this helps put positive pressure on the price, and it also adds liquidity, but also creates a little fear within the community. And this is the main purpose why we're having these calls, because we go from sharing this with people to receiving a liquid token of USDT to now receiving these rewards. And people might think, oh my God, like how am I going to do all the things I was doing before? The whole point of this is to show you that you can. Like if you need to pay your mortgage, if you need to pay your phone bill, if you want to buy more tokens, like this is how you do it. It is possible. So that's really what the smart flow is. Mine's in a gun safe. Well, hopefully it's fireproof. God forbid a fire happens. Get like a fireproof sleeve or something and keep your paperwork inside that safe in a fireproof sleeve, not a sieve. I think, do you see any more questions that I'm missing?
Um,
No, I think maybe a little bit confusion around the difference between MetaMask and Switch. Listen, MetaMask is one of, like, I would say dozens of different things. We just use MetaMask because it's easy, you know? There's all different types of wallets. We just want to keep it simple and streamlined for you guys to do what you need to do. I don't.
But I will say this, the benefit of buying through Switch, obviously, well, there's a couple different caveats there. Number one, I think you're buying in $500 chunks if you're buying through Switch right now.
Yeah.
So you can't buy less than that. So that's one benefit, of course, of going through MetaMask or Uniswap or whatever, is you can buy less if you want to buy less. But if you are going to be buying a $500 chunk or more, buying through Switch is definitely beneficial. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to get it at a better rate if you're buying it with Switch. I think you're actually going to get 5% more than you would otherwise have. It may be actually more than that even. I can't remember the exact number, but I know that you're actually going to get more buying it from Switch than you would if you're buying it out of the market. So there is benefit absolutely of buying it through Switch. The downside, which may not be a downside, is you have to do it in at least $500 chunks from Switch.
So Kim asked, would you say MetaMask is a wallet or exchange or both? So MetaMask is purely a wallet. What I was doing was I was interacting with Uniswap, the decentralized exchange, through MetaMask. It's a built-in integration inside of MetaMask. I was just using their UI basically. And before I forget, let me share that link tree that I had pulled up earlier, just so everyone can have it.
What were you saying, Denise?
There's one more question in the Q&As. Will Switch ever become functional like MetaMask?
That's probably a question for Switch. I'm not sure. Do you mean like being able to connect your wallet, to different exchanges? Let's say a couple things.
Switch is very functional, very similar to MetaMask already. I mean, there's a wallet there, there's an exchange there. You can come in and out of different tokens, you can swap for different tokens. So that's already there. I guess I don't understand exactly what you mean. Maybe clarify that question a little bit if you can.
I did ask for clarification.
Yeah, thank you.
And then Christine is saying, can you talk about the switch pay / buy crypto white paper in upper corner of the wallet for someone new to connect, wanting to use that to purchase first node if they don't
Upper
have
tab. Oh,
Yeah, so just talking about the button that's inside of the wallet inside of Connect, yeah. So you can purchase like USDT, USDC through there. Whenever you click on it, it'll bring you to the Switch. I don't know if it's the marketplace or what that's actually called, but yeah, it brings you to an external site to where you can paste your Connect wallet address in there and actually purchase crypto to receive it.
You know, and obviously you know, it's so anywhere in the world, it's so difficult to get crypto, and oftentimes there's a waiting process. So, you know, there is a fee involved with that, and what you're paying for is convenience. The best way that I know, you know, to be able to purchase crypto is, and it takes a few days just to get it set up, but like have people sign up for Connect AutoLink and just have them go through the process on Switch Reward Card and upload their ID, get their process verified. That's all that I use. I don't use any exchange other than Uniswap, which we just showed you, and Switch. Like I'm purely 100% Switch. It's the best thing since sliced bread. There's no other platform on the planet that has the capabilities of doing what it does. Um, you know, it's unlike anything else that gives me access to my crypto instantly. If I buy it, I don't know anywhere else in the world that I can get my crypto same day. There's always this waiting process and like biting nails, like, oh my God, are they going to release my money? That's not the case here, but it's just getting it set up is the first step, and that involves like KYC, AML, you know, utility bill, jumping through those hoops, which takes a couple days. But once they have the platform, they can plug in their bank, and it usually works pretty good. Sometimes the banks get a little weird with it. In fact, I had a woman buy some grow nodes, her and her husband the other day, and you know, they were getting ready to send in a wire. This is the Switch. I'm sorry, the shopping cart, which is one of Switch's plugins on our shopping cart. But the banks declined them at first, and she ended up just, you know, meeting the lady. And the biggest thing that the banks are concerned about is if you were the one that wanted to do this. Like, are you being like provoked into doing this? They just want to, like, if you're honest with them, and like generally, like she was doing this to purchase nodes and get onboarded into the Kohima to get the benefit. She's a regenerative farmer and doing all that stuff. So she was really doing this to get access to all of the tools and you know services that like Neil from Kohima, that's a grow brand that they're providing. And when she went into the bank and just had like a genuine one-on-one conversation with the human being, they just wanted to understand that like they're trying to protect you by not allowing you to use your own money. So it's best to just, you know, if push comes to shove, just be honest with them. Like, you know, I'm buying software. I know exactly what I'm doing. But anyways, they don't want to go down that big rabbit hole. That was just one of my experiences. But Switch is the best, as long as your bank's cool with it. I always keep a couple banks on deck just in case banks start acting a fool, which I always do. Um, so yeah.
I have some clarification on that question. Sam is saying, just wanting to know if we can use Switch in the future without using MetaMask or any other platform outside of our ecosystem.
So I think maybe what he's getting at is the ability to like buy and sell his rewards. Like Switch has the feature which you touched on, Steven. Like we have the ability to buy those rewards through the bundles. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't like obviously I'm not Switch, but I think once our markets start to go, like I don't see why Switch wouldn't,
Well,
you know.
and I know they've talked about it.
Yeah.
Brad and Kathy both have talked about being able to swap, buy, sell all of the different digital rewards here inside of this decentralized ecosystem. So that is the goal. So I think eventually, yes, eventually you won't need probably any other wallet if you don't want one. You can do everything through Switch. It's not there now, but that is the future goal.
We have another question too. Can someone explain how the market daily volume impacts pricing of the tokens in the market? For example, Rally with the recent increase in volume and transactions.
Yeah, so it depends. Yes, volume is just like how much money is going into buys and sells. That's really what volume is. Yes, and that can affect the market. If there's a lot of volume but a lot of selling, then the price goes down. If there's a lot of volume but a lot of buying, then the price goes up. It's a delicate balance, especially with us being super early. What we have happening right now is we have smart flow, which is hitting the market and buy pressure. And then there are, people who maybe want to exchange, like how we just showed you, like doing that, like counteracting it. So that's why we'll see like the price go up, the price go down, and the volume starting to increase. As there's more buys and more sells, the volume will increase. So to really answer your question, it depends on what side of the coin that is. That volume is how it would affect the price.
Or if it's almost balanced, like equal, you could have high transactional volume for the day, but if the buy pressure and sell pressure are almost equalized, it may just stay flat.
Yeah.
I usually look at it like a vehicle, to where everyone knows if you leave your headlights on, you're going to drain your battery. But whenever the vehicle's on, you have the alternator charging the battery so you can have lights on. That's kind of like a balanced flow between them. Erica asked something I kind of wanted to uh, kind of back up what John was talking about. So when he talked about sending crypto off the same day, he didn't mean specifically like as soon as you start an ACH process to purchase crypto on Switch reward card. What he means is as soon as you receive it, because the same thing happened like in Coinbase. As soon as you receive your crypto, I've been locked out for 14 days. I think I've known people, or we've heard of people locked out for months, if not years. They weren't able to send out depending on how much they bought. And what he means is just as soon as you receive the crypto that you purchase, you can send it right out. And I don't think there's any other platform that has a fiat on-ramp that has that capability.
I don't think so either. I haven't come across it, and I've been part of a lot of different ones. So that's definitely a unique feature that I haven't seen anywhere else. I mean, Switch really encourages you to get your coins off their platform. That's why they provide that non-custodial wallet right there. It's like, hey, use our platform, on and off ramp all you want, but like Brad says it all the time, like get it into your custodial wallet. That way, if like anything ever happens, like you have full control of your tokens.
You guys have any insight into the folks out there in Australia with
Oh,
using?
yes, pray to the Vegemite gods. I actually don't. I'm not sure. It's possible to do stuff when you're talking about Switch specifically. I haven't heard any updates. I know they're going to be rolling like the international side of the trade platform out at some point this year. Um, Maybe we'll reach out to Brad and get some updates about that.
You guys know how the fees are on Switch compatible elsewhere?
They're not the cheapest, but they're definitely highly competitive for sure. Like there's places that are a lot more expensive, but they're up there in competitiveness with fees for sure.
But I
You know,
mean,
it's,
They're transparent with them.
yeah, even just to talk about that, I mean, because
yeah,
most people aren't John and Jake and don't know all the all the different places that you can go. I'm just talking reality, right? Most people go to Coinbase or like a Cash App or something like that. If you're buying your crypto on Coinbase, you're normally going to spend somewhere around 12, 14% very easily in transaction fees just to get your money from fiat into crypto. And then on top of that, it's going to be held there for a minimum usually of, 10 days to 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. Like it just depends for some reason. It's not cut and dry. So those are two really big factors. Switch, the fees, they're up front with everything. It's like 7%, I think at the most, something like that. And and you get it immediately. Like you can take it off platform immediately if you want to, or leave it on platform. You can do whatever you want to. So like for the average person, or even for the above average person, because I would say that Jake and John are way above average. But for the average and even above average, Switch is going to be by far and away the very best option that's out there.
Yeah, like Coinbase, they make it seem like they might be cheaper, but what they're doing, like let's just say a coin costs like $1. That's the price of the coin. They're actually selling you the coin for like $1.20,
That's
and
right.
they're making money off increasing the price and then keeping their fees a little bit lower. So it seems like you're paying a lower fee when in actuality, they're kind of like it's kind of like any store doing a sale on a jacked up price to begin with. It's like, oh, you think you're getting a sale, but they jacked the price up 20% before they gave you the sale. Um, they're not transparent around it is my point. And Switch is like Brad's first experience with buying XRP. If you've been on his calls, he was scared to death. He had no idea what the fees were. And he's really made it a point to keep those like upfront and transparent so you know exactly what you're getting before you click the button. All right, guys. So
Okay,
yeah, I think
good.
we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Like
lots of
obviously,
good information.
you're not gonna get it all in, one time, but you know, um, I think it's
How long have you
important.
both been in it?
How long have
Give
I
us
both?
give us some insight on how long it took you to get to where you are right now.
Well, I started my crypto journey in 2016. After about 2 years in the crypto space, I decided to fire my boss and I went full time into crypto. And I have a ton of experience with like when you live off of crypto, um, like you need to always have like a constant place to on and off ramp. For me specifically, like off ramp. So I've been through like so many different exchanges, like Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken. These are all like US based exchanges, institutional grade accounts through business. Um, and they've always gotten shut down. And all my banks have gotten shut down because they think it's a threat to what they're doing. But um, yeah, it's like 8+ years. I think maybe 9 years I've been doing this. And it's the most lucrative thing that I ever did, but at the same time, it can be scary sometimes. Like right now, we're about to go into what's called a bull market cycle, where generally everything's up and it's impossible to lose money unless you're scammed or hacked. But after that, we go into what's called a bear market where everything goes down. And it's like that's the scary part if you're
Yeah.
living fully off crypto. Because one second, 1 year, like life can be great and grand. And then, the next couple years, it's like, dang, do I have to go back to work? And like, so I remember in 2000. So Bitcoin went up to like 20 grand in 2017, then like 18, 19 in part of 20 or 18, 19, it was kind of like everything was down. And I remember in the bottom of that bear market,
Mhm.
I had Bitcoin and I was living off the Bitcoin that I made during the previous run. And Bitcoin went so low down to like $3,000. And I had like at the time, my expenses were like 6 grand a month I needed to liquidate. And I'm like, oh my God, this is unsustainable if I have to liquidate 2 Bitcoin a month, knowing that I knew in my heart and mind that it
Yeah.
would be 100 grand one day, which
Yeah.
guess what, guys, here we are.
Yeah.
So it always like I'm fine with it, but my wife, it's like financially, like I love it because I get the freedom, but it's not like consistent, and like it's difficult, you know, to be honest with you. And I bet you if I continue to work, I'd probably have maybe more money than I do now, you know, because I'm not drawing off my crypto to live.
Yeah.
But I prefer to do it that way because I get the freedom to spend time with my family, to do the things I want to do, to help the communities grow like we do now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
And then me, I got started really in 2019, like mid 2019, because I had been around, like I had heard crypto a lot. You know, I came from like I traded stocks, options, futures, and I was more in that traditional finance world. And I had friends around me that were talking about Bitcoin and stuff, and I wouldn't look at it. I mean, I was like, that's a scam. That's something that someone literally just created this fake thing and they're selling it all the time. And I had one of them basically forced me to get involved in 2018. I'm very thankful for that. But I gave him money and he took care of all of it for me. And then I kind of went down the rabbit hole when I understood the underlying technology of what, like, it's not even a new asset class. Like, I don't even know how you define it. It's literally tons of different things. It's a whole technological advancement, really. It's like a revolution. So that's what I couldn't understand. Like, how can that much money go into something? Because I was thinking, you know, like another company coming on board. Like I couldn't fathom all that amount of money going into something. But once I went down that rabbit hole in 2019, I've been hooked ever since and went through the bull run. I learned how to do all the things that we're talking about now, did really well through then. I was able to liquidate. I was able to do all these things, earn rewards, liquidate, and everything in 2021. And I've been here ever since.
Awesome.
I
You
think I
guys,
remember teaching you MetaMask the first time, dude.
Yep,
yeah,
you did. Yeah.
awesome.
Uniswap, liquidity, Etherscan, like really all that started getting popular around that time. Like none of us really knew anything about all that. And
You guys
yep.
want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I figured all that out on my own.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody taught me. It was really
That's
hard.
awesome.
Me too.
Spent a lot of time researching. This is
Yeah.
why they do your own research. I probably wasted a lot of money in fees doing
Mm,
test things, but I figured it out on my own. So
nice.
yeah, just keep practicing. You'll get there.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
lean on the community. Like, Denise has this community now, like, but she's a pro now.
Yeah.
But you're not on your own here. Like all of y'all, like come to Discord, come to WhatsApp, come to Facebook, wherever your community is. Like we're all here to help and
Yeah.
and all grow together. This is what's exciting about it.
All right. Well, we've actually ran over, guys. So thank you so much for your time tonight and all the information you've given. I'm sure everybody took lots of notes. I know I did. So yeah, we appreciate you guys and thank you everybody for joining us tonight.